I thought I'd be all chipper the first time I did this, but I got up this morning and walked 10 laps between the back door and the front door. I only made it 5 before I had to stop and rest, and then I did the other 5. But yesterday I was only able to do 2 and 2 and then 3 and 3, so that was an improvement. And I didn't have the same blood pressure crash and sweating, and yesterday I came back to bed and I was out all day. I feel a little more like myself today, so I figured I would record this for all of you who haven't had a chance to talk to me and were wondering how I was doing. You can see the scar is fairly extensive. That's down low. Those are the chest tube scars, which still have sutures in them. There's dissolving sutures in the main scar. I assume that it'll all be, the lower ones will come out at my next doctor visit, which is, I think, on the 2nd, so next week. I have to say the surgeon was brilliant. The staff in the ICU, from nurses to charge nurses to respiratory therapists to occupational health therapists, they were all super cool, super attentive, and of course Natalie has been an absolute gem. I couldn't, oh my God, I don't know how anyone who's older could do this alone. That just doesn't even seem possible. My head is not super clear all the time. I mean, I'm able to focus now while I'm talking to you guys. It's not terrible, but my mind wanders. My restrictions they seem a little ridiculous, to be honest, but I can't lift my arms above shoulder height. I can't push. I can't pull. I can't lift more than 5 pounds. So even things like sitting up or rolling over, you try doing that without your arms. It's not easy. I thank God that all those years ago when we got this bed, we got the adjustable base. We played with it for a while when we first got it, and then we haven't used it in 4 years probably. It's never been adjusted, but it is a lifesaver now, both getting in and out of bed, sitting up to take meds, sitting up for the meals I eat here, helping me, shift position. It's been a lifesaver for that. So I will record these, I think, maybe every day, who knows. Excuse me, a little gassy. So that you guys can follow along with my recovery if you're so inclined. Hopefully you see improvement, and there's already been a lot of improvement. So the first was only in the hospital for 3 nights. The first night being the day of surgery, which ended up being a lot more complicated than they intended or expected. They were not able to save my valve. That was my plan. So I do have I thought it was a pig valve. It's actually a bovine valve, so I have a cow valve. And my aorta, they couldn't see the extent of the aneurysm until they opened me up, and it went all the way to the base of my brain. So they had to replace my entire aorta. And I don't have details on this yet, but my understanding is that they had to drop my core temperature to something ridiculously low. And, according to Natalie, I was pretty scary looking when I first came out from under. I was gray, and they kept trying to extubate me, but I kept wanting to go to sleep, and they won't extubate you until you're awake. I don't remember any of that. So at some point I was awake, but I don't remember it. I don't remember them wheeling me out of the surgical suite into recovery, or from recovery up to the cardiac ICU. I just remember coming to in the cardiac ICU. And that first night, every hour, well, for the first couple days, every hour they were checking on me. The blood pressure cuff would go off, and then the nurse would come in and check my blood sugar and then give me insulin. I guess that's fairly common with heart surgery. I'm not on insulin now. I'm not diabetic. What else? So we came home on Monday, and unfortunately had to make 2 stops on the way home. The VA hospital where we got my prescriptions filled is less than a quarter mile from Loma Linda Main Hospital. You can, from the parking lot, you can see one from the other. It's a straight shot down the street. So, and there, we were able to call inside and verify that Natalie could go in and pick up the meds without me. And then they sent us over to what they call the ACC, or the Ambulatory Care Clinic. That's only about a mile and a half from the hospital. It's another VA facility. It's newer. And that's where they do all the prosthetics and things like, and medical aid devices. So that's where we picked up the shower chair. And that's what we had a prescription for, an order for. Excuse me. But they were kind enough to say, hey, you probably want a raised toilet seat too, so that he doesn't have to sit so far. So I now have a raised toilet seat. And when we got there, the order was pending, which is one of the problems with the system there. But once you got a person involved, they were able to kind of expedite things and get us what we needed. And then he was kind enough, kind enough to carry them out to the car while Natalie pushed me in a wheelchair out to the car. And then we came home. And I've gotten up at least 3 times a day and done 10 laps between the front door and the back door. I'm supposed to be using I forget what it's called, but it's a breathing thing. I always call it the spiralizer, but I know that's not right. Inspirometer or whatever. So it's not that hard. I just have to suck in, raise the thing up 10 times. But I'm supposed to do it every hour. And I don't always remember to do it every hour. So, in fact, yesterday I probably did it once. I have to get better at that. And that's about it. I think that's where we're at for now. As you can probably tell, I'm in bed with the back raised up, and I'm starting to get my voice back. It's not 100%, but it's not as raspy as it was when they extubated me. And then it seemed like every couple days they were taking another IV line out or chest tube line out. And the one that was in my right hand was the last one to come out. It was the first one to go in. And the last time they tried to use it, they gave me magnesium, a little bitty IV pouch of magnesium, and my whole hand swelled up like a balloon. So I'm not sure I even got all that magnesium like I was supposed to, but it's fine now. And they gave me my heart-shaped pillow that I'm supposed to clutch to my chest when I cough, because of course they didn't just saw through the skin or cut through the skin here. They sawed through the sternum as well. And then when they wire that back together, you can't cast it like an arm or a leg. So they use a stainless steel wire, and they wire all that together. So apparently I'll be setting off airport metal detectors for the rest of my life. Small price to pay. I love all of you. You guys are an amazing support system. I don't know how anybody does this without it. A friend of mine who's an old Vietnam vet just called. I could see his name flash across the top of the screen while I was doing this. So I'll call him up. I think he wants to come by and visit. So I am being well taken care of. And every day I feel a little bit stronger. I love you guys. Bye.